Welcome students. In the previous class we actually discussed about the whole chapter, that is sound. Actually today we are going to discuss about exercise problems of your textbook. Okay, so the first section, that is section A, actually tick the most appropriate answer, and the first question is actually the loudness of a sound depends on. Actually the correct answer is none of these. Okay, here loudness of a sound does not depend on wavelength, volume of air around vibrating body, and time also. Okay, so the correct option is actually none of these. For the second question, actually pitch of sound increases. We already know pitch directly depend on frequency, so the correct option is actually option A, frequency. The third question, pitch of a flute can be increased by. Okay, in generally here for flute the source of sound is the vibration of air column. So now the option A or option B. And for this question actually pitch increases with the decrease of the length of vibrating air column. That means option B is the correct answer. Okay, and question number 4, that is a sound produced by a guitar and violin with the same pitch and loudness is distinguished by its quality or timbre of so the correct answer is actually option C. It is the definition of actually quality, because quality defines or quality distinguishes to different sound having same pitch and loudness. Okay, with the help of different waveform. Okay, now we move to our next question, that is question number 5. Which of the following properties of sound is responsible for its loudness? It is actually amplitude, option C, because loudness is depend on amplitude. Okay, or we can say actually loudness is proportional to the square of the amplitude. And next question number 6, that is musical sounds are caused due to. Actually musical sounds caused due to regular vibration. It is the definition of music also. And the question number 7, that is the sound that never changes pitch, volume, speed, and timbre is known as simply monotone. It is also the definition of monotone. Okay, now we move to our next section, that is section B, fill in the blanks. Okay, so the first question is actually loudness of sound decreases. Okay, because if the distance between listener and source is increase, yes, the distance between listener and the source increases, then loudness of a sound decreases. The second question, it is also actually the definition of pitch also. The characteristics of a sound which distinguish a shrill sound and a hoarse sound, or a shrill sound from a hoarse one, is called actually pitch. The third one, a longer string will produce a sound of dash pitch. Actually this is shorter pitch or lower pitch, because for higher pitch actually string length is very small. If string length is very long, then actually this produce lower pitch or shorter pitch. The fourth one, that is actually drum produce sound due to vibration of its vibrating membrane. Simply question number 5, unpleasant sound that is very loud is called simply noise. It is the definition of noise. The sixth one, human can pick up sound in the range of 10 decibel to 180 decibel. And question number 7, sound of about dash decibel or more causes many health hazard. It is actually approximately 90 decibel. Okay, and constant exposure of sound above 80 decibel can cause actually harmful effects on our body. Now we move to our next question or next part, that is true false part. The first is a sound with higher amplitude is a soft sound, whereas a sound with lower amplitude is loud. It is actually false. The correct is sound with higher amplitude is a loud sound, whereas a sound with lower amplitude is soft sound. Okay. Question number 2. The pitch of a sound of a string instrument decreases with decrease in the thickness of the vibrating string. It is also false. Actually, the thickness, the frequency or the pitch of a sound is inversely proportional to thickness of vibrating string. That means the pitch of the sound of string instrument increases with the decrease in the thickness of the vibrating string is the correct option. And question number 3, pitch of a sound depends on its frequency. It is correct, true. 4, the pitch of a stringed instrument depends on the tension in the string. It is also true. And 5, a flute produces sound due to vibration of air column inside it. It is also true. Okay. And the 6 is music has a disturbing effect on health and behavior of a sound. Actually, it is false. Noise has a disturbing effect. Okay, so you have to replace noise in the place of music. Okay, and question number 7, sounds below 50 decibel cause noise pollution and are harmful. No, actually sound above 80 or 90 decibel causes noise pollution and also harmful. Okay, now the question number 8, that is percussion instruments produces sound due to vibration of thin metal strip. It is also false. Actually, percussion instruments produces sound due to the vibration of membrane. Okay, vibrating membrane. Now we move to our next section, that is section D, match the columns. Okay, so one is wind instrument. It is matched with actually vibrating air column. Okay, second stringed instrument, it is matched with option A, vibrating string. And 3, percussion instrument, actually it is matched with vibrating stretched membrane. And 4, it is independent frequency, that means matched with option B. And the 5, loudness, it is matched with option E, that means loudness depends on actually amplitude. Okay, now we move to our next portion, that is define the following terms. Okay, here actually first question is amplitude. Okay, so this is the actually definition of amplitude. Okay, the maximum displacement or distance moved by a point on a vibrating body or wave measured from its equilibrium or mean position. The second one, frequency, we already discussed. Actually, the term frequency refers to the number of waves that pass a fixed point in unit time interval. Okay, and the third one, that is actually time period. Okay, so what is the definition of time period, or define simply we can say the time period is the time taken by a vibrating body to complete one oscillation. Fourth one, loudness. So loudness means actually it determines the magnitude of sound. Okay, and it also already depends on actually amplitude also, amplitude of sound also. Pitch, pitch simply denotes the shrillness and or flatness of a sound, and sound can be high or low pitch also. It depends on actually frequency. Timbre, it is the quality of sound that actually distinguish to different musical instrument. Okay, or to different people. Okay, of actually having same pitch and same loudness. Now we move to our next question, that is monotone. So we already know what is monotone. Monotones means actually monotone refers to a sound for actually, for example we can say monotone means actually unvaried tone. Okay, single unvaried tone. Here amplitude, okay, frequency, pitch, all are same for a monotone. Now what is music? Music is a sound that produces a pleasant sensation, and also we can say it is created by regular vibrations. And noise is actually unpleasant and unwanted sound produced by different horns of, of vehicles, machines, etc. Okay, these are the define, or these are the terms that is related to sound also. Okay, now we move to our uh, section, following section, that is section F. For F section, the first question is actually name three characteristics of sound. We already discussed in the previous classes also. Three characteristics, actually simply we can say loudness, pitch, and also quality or timbre. The next one is define the characteristic of a sound that distinguishes real sound from a hoarse sound. It is simply pitch, and you have to define, or actually you have to write down the definition of pitch also. Okay. Now the third one is how are loudness and amplitude related. Already I explained. I say that actually loudness is directly proportional to the square of the amplitude. Okay, it is the relation between loudness and amplitude of a sound. Now the fourth one, write two differences between loudness and pitch. Simply to write down two differences. First difference is the definition of both two, loudness and pitch, and the second one is loudness depends on amplitude, whereas pitch depends on actually frequency. Now the five question number, how is it possible to distinguish between sounds produced by different instruments tuned to the same frequency? Okay, so here for different instrument same frequency we can distinguish with the help of quality or timbre also. Okay, so you have to define what is quality or timbre, and then you have to explain, okay, with the help of an very simple example like guitar, tabla, okay, or man's voice, woman's voice, okay, this type of thing. Sorry, here actually frequency is same. That means actually just you have to explain with the help of different instrument. Okay, now the next question, that is question number 6. Name the different types of musical instrument. It is already discussed in your class. That means in your previous classes, wind instruments, string instruments, and also percussion instruments. Okay, and what do you understand by monotone? Already we discussed about monotone. Okay, monotone simply actually the same frequency, same loudness, same quality. Okay, and the next one, that is state the unit of loudness. It is decibel. Okay, and mention the effect of different loudness level of on human ears. Already it is discussed in your book also, so you have to check out, you have to write down from your book, textbook. And here the last one is from this section, mention two effects produced on humans of sound 90 decibel or above. Okay, so for this question actually many health problem issue, like here we actually feeling of, okay, anxiety, stress, high blood pressure, heart problem, okay, loss of hearing, reduced working efficiency. These are the actually answers for the following question. Okay, for the particular question. Okay, so you have to write down only two effects. Okay, when actually sound level crossed 90 decibel. Now the next part, that is actually G. Okay, section G. Here also first question is define amplitude, time period, frequency with the respect to sound wave, and also this question already discussed definition of amplitude, time period and frequency. Okay, because it is actually discussed very beginning. Okay, and the next question is state the relationship between time period and frequency. We already know time period is inversely proportional to frequency, that means t is equal to 1 upon f. Now the next question is state the factors affecting the loudness of sound. Simply we can say the factors, that means actually at first you have to write down amplitude, then you have to write down different humidity, the distance between actually source and listener, okay, and pressure, temperature, and etc. Okay, and you have to explain how the factors affect the loudness. Okay, now the next one, what do you understand by the term pitch? It is also discussed. Okay, pitch, quality and loudness also. So you have to just write down about three characteristics. Okay, now the next one is how can you prove experimentally. Okay, so here you have to provide an experiment. Okay, actually this type of question is not coming in your exam. Okay, so you do not have to do this. Okay, just follow the instruction that I have already given to you. Okay, so the next question is prove that the pitch of a wind instrument depends on the length of vibrating air column. Okay, here also you have to write down that how actually pitch depends. Okay, if length is vibrating air column suppose increases, okay, then pitch increase or decreases. This type of actually question is coming. Okay, simply you have to write down what actually happens. Okay, uh, here not to explain with an experiment. Okay, so the next one is also classify percussion instrument. That means actually here you have to actually classify, means different types of percussion instrument, wind instrument, string instrument, and also percussion instruments. So just here you have to classify only percussion instruments. That means here on the basis of pitch. Okay, so one is pitched percussion instrument and another one is unpitched actually percussion instrument, and you have to write down the definition of pitched and unpitched percussion instruments and also write down two examples. Okay, and the last one, that is differentiate between music and noise. Already we discussed about music and noise, so you have to write down at first definition of music and noise separately, and then you have to write down music has regular vibrations and noise has irregular vibrations. Okay, music is pleasant to our ears whereas noise is unpleasant. Okay, so here actually this type of question is coming. Okay, and not necessary the experimental actually questions. Okay, so you have to just read very carefully your textbook. Okay, the next part, that is actually section H. In this section actually three figures are given. Okay, so from these figures actually uh, you have to write down the following questions. That means first question is identify the sounds with same loudness. Same loudness means actually same amplitude. Okay, from these three figures we can say that figure 1 and 2 has to have actually same amplitude, so that means they, figure 1 and figure 2 are the sounds with same loudness. And the second one, identify the sounds with same pitch. Here actually pitch depends on frequency, so here you have to check the frequency part. Okay, so if uh, from this figure actually we can say figure 2 and figure 3 have the same time period and also same frequency, that means they have same pitch. The third one, identify the most shrill sound. Most shrill sound means frequency is more. Okay, which one? Actually here for figure 1 has less time period, that means high frequency. So figure 1